Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm not gonna sign throughout this video just because I think I will confuse myself too much. So I'm just gonna speak and there will be captions. Sometimes they don't work, but I'm trying to fix that, so hopefully there will be captions. If there's not, please let me know and I will fix that as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, I am just going to speak throughout this video. So I wanted to talk about what deafness means to me. What is deafness in my world, sort of thing, because deafness isn't the same for everybody. There are 4 different levels of deafness, and within that a whole range of ways people cope, hear and sort of manage their life. There's obviously mild to profound, and I feel like people have this ideology of deaf people, what they sound like, what they look like. Like, I've never met a deaf person that has a specific look, like that it affects our ears, nothing else. And that's kind of, I think, a thing a lot of people forget. When I introduce myself and I say, hi, I'm Emma, I'm deaf, or I'll just mention that I'm deaf, I often get funny looks like, you're not deaf. No, you're not, you're lying. I don't believe you. You're not deaf. And that kind of is so frustrating because sometimes that means I don't get the support I need. And I've asked for help before and then we're like, nah, you're fine. I'll just move closer to the closer to the front or whatever. But that doesn't help. That's not support. That's not what I need. And they don't listen to me. Like, I have different needs to somebody who is profoundly deaf. Our needs are different. So you can't look at us as if we're like all the same sort of needs. You can't look at us that way because we're not. I personally do not need a communicator in my everyday life to communicate with people. Like, I don't need sign language. Like, I can use my ears and I can speak clearly and people understand me and I understand them. And I know that's not the same for all deaf people, but for me that's what it's like. And I feel like people's ideology of deafness, where somebody is a cochlear implant or profoundly deaf, they can't hear without their they can't hear without a hearing aid or a cochlear implant, and they need sign language and they have a deaf accent or deaf voice, whichever one you want to call it. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of people think when they meet, that's what a deaf person is, but it's not. A deaf person just means they can't hear, and they have different levels of what they're able to hear. So for me, I'm not able to hear quite a few things, but I manage because I lip read and I ask for help, or I ask for them to repeat a lot, and I just do my best with what I have. And I can hear a lot. I can hear a lot more than a lot of deaf people. I have a moderate hearing loss. I'm not severe to profound, and I prefer not to wear my hearing aids. That's my choice. And a lot of deaf people feel the same way, and a lot of deaf people don't. They'd rather wear hearing aids. They don't like it when they don't have it on. Again, that's perfectly fine. That's their choice. But I feel like the image that a deaf person is one particular way is harmful to those who aren't, because it means that we're getting put back on the backbench, or whatever the term is. It means we don't get the support that we need when we need it, and we have to fight for it a little bit harder because it's not so obvious. And it means that we fall behind or we struggle a lot more. And I'm not saying people who are profoundly deaf don't struggle, because they do struggle. Even with the communication support that they may have, they do still struggle, but they don't struggle in the same way that I would. So our struggles, our needs are different, so you can't put us in the same category because we're different. And I see a lot of videos online and it's talking about their life in school and how difficult it was with communication and not being able to hear and mishearing things and not being able to keep up with the class. And for a lot of deaf people in a mainstream environment, I'm just talking specifically about a mainstream environment, yeah, that is true. But for somebody like me, whilst I struggled, I didn't struggle in the same way they did. I struggled with missing out on a few words or key topics, and I didn't fall loads behind, but I wasn't ahead. I wasn't sort of at the same level as everyone else. I did have to work that little bit harder to be able to keep up. I had to focus, whereas people may talk, and don't get me wrong, I messed about. I talked in class, I was in school, and in those lessons I messed about the most in, I got really bad grades, and I did. And I may have not revised per se, but it's just difficult to put us all in the same category. You can't do that. And I think if you meet a deaf person, you have to listen to their needs, not what you assume. And I think a lot of the time it is what people assume that a deaf person is and what they need. They don't ask, it's assumptions. And I think the best thing to do, obviously, is to just ask that person, like, what can I do to help you? What are your needs that I can meet? And we will say, okay, I need this, this, and this in order to be able to do my job or my work or whatever the task at hand is. But a lot of times, like, oh yeah, we've got this for you, hope it helps. No, please ask, so then we can do our best and, like, you know. So I think what I'm kind of trying to say is, if you see on the internet a lot, like, oh, this is what a deaf person is and this is the struggles that I went through in school, just sort of remember that's not the same for everybody, and there's a different level, and there are some things that are similar, not the same, similar, like a TikTok I posted about, there's a couple I'll bring up. There's one that I posted about going into a Lush store and having to sign for this deaf person. Not everybody's gonna want to do that, and not everybody will do that. Or there was one where me and my boyfriend, we ordered a drink and we thought it was something completely different to what it actually was, and a lot of deaf people have similar experiences to that, misunderstanding something they've ordered or misunderstanding an important word in a conversation or something. That happens a lot. But it's just, all I can say is just different, so please don't categorise us in this particular way, because that's the ideology you have for us. I guess that's kind of all I'm trying to say. If you have any questions about my level of deafness, again, I can only speak to my experience or stories I've heard from my friends who are profoundly deaf, but it's not my experience, so that'll be their story to tell, so I won't exactly go into detail or say much about that. I'll just tell you my experience, and my experience will be different for somebody who's profoundly deaf or severely deaf, because I don't have that level of loss, so I don't understand their struggles, but they don't have my level of hearing and my judgment, the judgment that I have in the world from the world, because I'm not like them. So they don't understand me and I don't understand them, but we have an understanding that we are similar and we go through similar struggles in some cases, but not every scenario or situation is the same, and the support and the level of needs that we have are different in every case, and I think that's something that people need to be mindful of. So yeah, sorry for that little sort of ramble rant type weird thing, I don't know, it's 10 o'clock. So I'm gonna end it there, and I don't know what to summarize that up with, so all I say is thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what else you want to do. Bye.